Hi everyone. I know I'm streaming on a Monday when I should have been trying to stream on Saturdays, but Saturdays seem to be impossible for me. So I'm going to try to change the day to Sundays, and hopefully it works. I am trying to make this thing work. I really am, people. Ugh. But yes. And I don't have the thing with me. What is wrong with me? Hold on a sec. And I'm back. Okay. So sorry about that, everyone. I didn't have my tablet on me. I have it like off screen, but I think all you can hear right now is the rain and not what's going on in the background. But I basically have some ambiance music going in the background, so don't mind me. Right. I don't even know how to do these right now. It has been a while since basically a week, a little more than a week since I streamed. I'm blanking out today because it's been that long and it's been that chaotic of a morning. But a few things to discuss. One, I will not be streaming episode 10 until next week because this week is already getting booked by the minute. But I will say that it's getting interesting. So I'll keep you guys updated as to what's going to happen. I'm probably going to update my notes as things go by, but so this is how it's going to go. I will be keeping notes of the week, and then I will be making sure to highlight them and read from those highlights on the next episode, and then talk about what happened in week 11, which is basically next week. Right. So, bit of a recap. Last week is week 9. This week is week 10, which means between last week and this week, it's gonna be crazy chaotic. Of trying to get assignments turned in and trying to figure out what's due at what time and making sure everything is sane. Ugh. I'll tell you, it's been that long. Oh, okay. But covered that. Oh. Basically, the reason why is Halloween is coming up, and my birthday is this Thursday, and I'm planning on things to do from Thursday till Sunday. Basically, I won't have a lot of free time, and I'm planning on using Wednesday's free time for things I have to do. Sorry, people, but I got responsibilities, and they're not going to do it themselves. I wish, but that's not going to happen. Now is it? Alright. The other thing, I have a kitty underneath my desk, so I'm not going to try to move too much, otherwise I'd risk her, leaving. So if you hear strange meows, just know that my cat's underneath. Anyway, right. So, where to start? How to start? What to start? I know what to start with. Poems. I have been posting poems lately because I discovered something called Canva. And I've posted 3 poems, so I thought to read all 3 of them before I start my week. Right? This one's called Stranger. Walking outside into the unknown, where everything is new, where everything now feels foreign and different. Walking into the store and people making you feel lonely. Feel like an outsider, where only shadows remain. The darkness has such a mystery, where those that belong didn't understand. It's unfamiliar territory. You feel alone even in times where you are not. As if no one sees you. Why? Because no one sees the real you. To them, you're nothing, just a stranger. To me, you are not. My second one is called Facing Fear. Fear, produced from our minds, builds from doubt, uncertainty, guilt, pain. It's the voice we deny again and again. That voice of doubt, that voice that lies. Yet we believe it until we say no, until we choose to face it, tell it to stop. For we know who we are. Does our fear know? No. It only sees the darkness, never the light. That's why it's good to keep a flashlight. And this one I wrote today, which I will get to sometime today. Sometime in this episode. Because I'll probably talk about this either today, or this episode, or the next, or maybe both. The fear virus. Fear controls everything. One person touches it, the rest follows. Fear clouds the mind, clouds so much that it ruins lives. It can't just chill, let us live. Fear helps, but not in that way. The way we think helps. Fear helps, but not in that way. The way we think helps. But now only confuses us. The more confused, the more fear wins. And that leads to a really good transition. So, I'll talk about what happened today first, because it definitely relates to what happened last week. So I was basically frustrated. I was gonna write about the rainy day today, because I'm in California and we have nice, calm, rainy weather, which is probably what you're hearing in the background, as I've said. But, when frustration builds up in my system, it changes the theme. So, my poetry is related to my moods. And if they swing, prompt change. It's really hard to stick to that calm when you're boiling frustration. Oh my gosh. But, yeah. Let's talk about last Monday. Talk about that. Oh! Oh, this one was fun. So, I'm gonna need to draw for this one. So, silly old me. So, me here. Thought it was on week 9. Or no. Okay, so we're just gonna put W for week. I thought it was going to be this week, week 10. Nope. It was actually last week was where the book talk happened. And what that means is I was supposed to find a book based off of the topics of social justice and talk about it. Basically, just read about it, talk about it, something. Just pick a book, talk about it. Pick 2 books, talk about it. So, no idea. So, realizing the groups and realizing it was the last week of book talks, I realized that was me. And I'm kind of scrambling to find a book. So I'm like, oh, sheet-talking mushrooms. I need to find something quick. So I typed up, lucky me, I actually found a book. And it happens to relate to my past, so bonus. Didn't even realize it was social justice at the time. If you're talking about the book in question, I'd recommend checking out Click Clack Moo, The Cows Can Type. Good book, by the way. But yeah, silly me. I found the book and I literally remembered the story. I remembered it right off the bat because it was something I remember from my past and it was a good strength of mine. I was leaning on to that. Luckily, the prompt of the assignment was just to pick a book and talk about it. And I literally did. Because that was all I could really do at that point. I wasn't really prepared. It looked pretty open to anything. And I'm like, okay, time to flex my improv skills. By the way, yes, I will now officially say I am good at improv, at doing things on the spot. Literally, that's just how I am. As far as how this went, it actually went pretty well despite the fact that I was panicking and so spaced. I'm usually more on top of things, but I guess that's just how these weeks have been. Piling on from like assignments. Here, let's go back to visuals again. So, let's say this bracket is full of all of the assignments. So, homework, let's say. Homework, that includes the due dates. So, the readings, all of that. Then pile on the expectations. That's probably spelled wrong, but you get the gist. So you got homework, expectations, and then tests that are for the program. So basically, that's for the program. The expectations I have from school, home, and in my block. And I can pile this on and on, but... So you got the homework, the expectations, the tests, and then you got... chores / housework. And housework is different than homework because homework relates to school. So I'm just going to say school. Home. So this is how I'm mentally piling things down. From homework to expectations, tasks, and other things I have to keep in mind, and other responsibilities. Yeah, we'll just extend that to other. So basically, this is what I pile on all the time. And I'm gonna put myself a different color. Here's little old me trying to carry all of this. All this weight mentally. And it's just a lot. So, of course, I'm going to space out about a tiny little assignment that literally I didn't even think about until the day of. So, yeah. That wasn't exactly pleasant. At all. So that was the first time I ever, like, spaced out on an assignment so much I had to, like, come up with something on the spot. As in, not fully prepared, haven't checked on the assignment, anything. I'm just, like, had a vague idea what I was going for, and what was going to be about until, like, I was actually on the spot, and I'm like, oh, crap. So, yeah. That's new. Yes, I have a blanket. I like to be comfy, so. Oh, yeah. I watched Wonder. If you don't know what Wonder is, it's based off of a book. But yeah, I watched the movie because I don't have the patience to do books right now. I mean, it's perfectly understandable. I have too much to read, so something to watch would be more relaxing for me. Because it takes a break from all the craziness. And honestly, it was a breath of fresh air for me. It was. I was watching it for my mentor teacher's recommendation. And I loved it. Coming from someone who has a hard time making friends in school and everything, so I can kind of understand a lot of the characters' pain and everything, because it's not really fun. So I can really relate to the story very, very much, because I come from not really... Not like in the main character, but I can relate to how the main character's sister feels. I can relate to that a lot. And I don't even have siblings, so there goes some kind of a picture for you. It was a great movie. I loved it. I think the actors did a phenomenal job. I think it was Kevin Spade. I'm not 100% sure. Or is it Chakwe? Yeah, the actor that played the father. He did a really good job. It was actually... I literally could feel dad vibes from him. And you know an actor has done completely well if you can tell what they're portraying is genuine. Feels genuine. Which is a good sign of an actor. Yes, it felt realistic. Oh, I almost cried twice and cried once. That shows how good that movie is. So, a bit of a background. I wondered why this book was so cherished and valued, and why the movie was too, because I do remember Wonder getting an award or something, or a nominee because of that. So I'm like, what's everyone talking about? So when I saw it, I'm like, I didn't have to read the book to know, like, I could see that movie and I could definitely tell why everybody loves the book. Like that. Which is great. So whoever did the directing, the writing, all the behind the scenes people, they really did their research, which says a lot about a movie. Okay, if you want to go with a comparison of a good movie to a terrible movie, a terrible movie would be the Avatar: Last Airbender movie. Yes, I will express my not so great feelings about it. Okay, the one thing out of the entire movie, okay, that bothers me the most is name pronunciation. Why is that important? Because as a teacher, I have to get the names right. And believe me, it's not easy, especially you have a class of 32 kids and you're trying to keep everybody straight and trying to make sure everybody's present. So you have to keep all these names in your head, and the last thing you want to do is screw up a name. Well, these people certainly did. I'm like, if the people say what they want to say, don't you think that kind of means that's how it's pronounced? All this political... Because one end, it could be the fact that it was because they wanted to be politically correct. I'm not sure if there was any insult that... I haven't heard anything about the name pronunciation being wrong, so I don't really think the whole name change pronunciation was needed. Hermione's name definitely needed to be cleared up, but not like Aang, Sokka, Katara. All those are easy names to pronounce. How can you screw that up? That is an example of a terrible movie and terribly researched. As in, probably not done well. Wonder, opposite spectrum. What every single movie director, people need to look into if they're going to be in a movie. Because you want to get the setting right, you want to get the writing right, because I do think the writing is done extremely well. The costumes, the set design, I think I already said the setting, but I'm talking about the costumes and the makeup, okay? You want to also have the music done right. Music, you could probably go to Disney for that. Disney definitely does really, really, really well. They're like... French kiss is good. Anyway, my whole point is, it's good. Let's move on to Tuesday. What did I do Tuesday? I went to observe another teacher for a narrative writing lesson, which was a recommendation by my mentor teacher. Took it, and it was a good idea. She really expressed what the idea was supposed to be, which is great, because I also got a chance to see my blockmate's mentor teacher as well. Her mentor teacher and my mentor teacher are friends, so we got to see what that looks like. Yeah, like I said, excuse the, if I haven't said it already. Yes, I do have a kitty underneath this desk. So, in case you hear just random meows, you know why. If I have already said that, sorry, I tend to repeat myself too often. Anyway, one of the other things I also talked about with my mentor teacher was poetry. And apparently when I was reading my poems to her, because we like to chat in between. She suggested we do a poetry lesson at some point. And since next month I'm going to be there full time, I will definitely be planning that. It's already in my wheelhouse right now because I can't get it out of my head. And I do think learning poetry would be really good for these kids, especially since it would be a good change. And it's a good way for them to maybe understand how to express themselves and maybe how this could work. I'm not really sure. So I need to plan this a bit more, get more ideas, probably bug my literacy teacher about this. Yeah, my literacy professor. I'm gonna have to do some serious homework on this one, and that's personally on me. Just not this week because this week is crazy. Let's see. Ooh, yes, I went to a staff meeting where my mentor teacher gave me heads up on doing a lesson. Oh, sorry. Sorry, kitty. Sorry, Roxy. Come here, kitty. Say hi to the world. This is my cat, Roxy. She is a cute, fluffy little furball. Yes, she's very, very vocal. See? Okay. Oh, right. So, one of the things my mentor teacher also did was give me a lesson for social and emotional learning. So, S E L. So that. And it was about listening actively. So, listening with attention. And this was kind of like a little bit last minute because I only had that day. So Tuesday, so the rest of Tuesday, all of Wednesday, and however long Thursday to plan this out. And Thursday is already busy, so I had pretty much only Wednesday to work whatever I have, and I'm balancing assignments and everything. It was like, great, more homework, lovely, lovely. Ugh. Fine, like, ugh. Okay, fine. Let's plan this out. Let's do this. I managed to make a plan, and I was very, very much. I'm very proud that I did, because I knew how to make this work. What I did find out during that staff meeting was my mentor teacher told me that the kids actually asked for me because that's how much they love me. And that's great. One of the other things later on this week is that she told me that I build pretty good rapport, which is very hard to do. I guess one of my main strengths is that I'm a gamer, and that's sort of in the now for children. So that is one of my biggest strengths, and why I can build it up really, really quickly. That's why I know the lingo when the kids are talking about. I feel like a lot of teachers don't go into the gaming field like me. I could be totally wrong on this, but a lot of teachers I have are very, very old-fashioned, and I'm not. Luckily, my mentor teacher is more modern, but the gaming scene is not for her. Personally, for me, I'm on the different spectrum, so. I'm getting the impression I might be the cool teacher or the more interesting teacher. Then again, I could be totally, but then again, it could be just where I'm mad or something. I don't know. Okay. Sorry about the crackly chair, people. I don't really like this chair. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna move on. Ooh. In math class on Wednesday, I discovered a book where you can mixture poetry and math. I didn't even think that was possible, to be fair. Whoever, like, I'm reading all these poems and someone from, like, poets that I'm familiar with, and some I didn't even know were poets. For example, did you know that the author for Winnie the Pooh actually wrote a poem once? I didn't know that. I literally did not know that. So, he's apparently out of life. And by that I mean he's had a well-rounded, eclectic taste in writing materials. It's one of those days. Alright. So, how do you mixture poems and math? Simple. Poetry is a word problem. Only more technical and a bit more artistic. Because it's very creative. Would I be able to make one of my own? Probably. Would it take a lot of practice? Yes. A whole lot of practice. And believe me, I won't do it to these kids. They can't deal with word problems yet. A lot of them are, like, behind really badly to where they're not even at 4th grade material. Which is sad, but that's also kind of the pandemic's fault for that. Which is sad, but you know, you do what you must. So, basically, I find that to be super creative. Oh, yes. Okay. Something else happened between Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, up to now. I'm saving that bad boy for our topic, because, oh, yes. Things got a little chaotic. So we're gonna go right on to Thursday. But one of my blockmates on Wednesday did not show up due to heart surgery. So that's something to keep in mind. Right. Thursday. Placement. Oh! That's interesting. You know what, people? I'm gonna be right back. I'll be back in probably 5 minutes. And I'm back. Glad to be back. If you are like watching this as a video, go ahead and fast forward to try 5 minutes, if not maybe more. Probably was just around 3 though. I don't keep track of that, not that much. So, yeah. Okay. So, I'm good. Good. Great. Fantastic. Alright, where were we? Thursday. Right. Last Thursday. So, apparently, I forget there's these things called earthquake drills. Yes, they definitely disrupt the flow of things, and I'm gonna have to keep in mind about this because it is very important in a school setting. Usually in these things, students will go a little bit chaotic, things will not go as planned, so you're kind of expected it to go the very worst possible thing you can think of at the top of your head, and hopefully you can adapt to that. Not really the case here, not all that much, but the kids really did well. They were well behaved, they were on it, they were troopers. And that's a good thing, because in earthquake drills, they don't usually go as planned. They really don't. Anyway. Yeah, so I did draw something again, and one of the things I did note was that the kids really love it when I draw. And I don't really think about when I'm drawing. I usually think I'm okay, but compared to a professional, I am so not at their level. But to a child, they don't know that, so I'll take a compliment when I take it. So, I'll take it. I helped out 2 to 3 kids with their math. So I taught one about how to just do the normal math I remember learning from when I grew up in their age. And 2 other people about the same thing. So kind of like a bit of tutoring or reteaching, which is great. Gives me a chance to do that. It felt good to help them instead of just sitting there feeling like I'm just observing. It's kind of a weird feeling because I want to do something, but I have no idea what to do, so I'm trying my very best not to stay in one place because of my absolute fear of having that one student tell me I'm the worst. I've used that as sort of a motivation point to not be that teacher, to not have a class go that chaotic. I'm on top of things. I'm more in control, which is where I'm going to lead to with the lesson. So Thursday is the day of the lesson, the day of the listening lesson, and this is a good thing to note. This is a good thing, because I was teaching how to listen with their ears. So I taught them that because they were having a trouble with listening, especially when it came to teaching or whatever. It was kind of chaotic. They would sometimes not listen, and I'm trying to tell them the qualities of why we need to listen with our ears and our brains, which attains the attention span. So meaning, pay attention and be patient, which is not something even us adults do. It's not really an easy task. Just sit there and listen. Why? Because the moment you think of something, you want to bring it out immediately. Otherwise, it just fades into obscurity. It goes flying away. Boop, 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 boop. So yeah, that's what would happen. Okay. But it was really good. I had really good grip on the class. I bounced off of them like it was nothing. And there were a lot more strengths in that lesson than improvements I need to work on, which is a good sign. I also bouncing off of the kids, basically improving, just kind of winging it a bit, which is fine for me. I literally can, like I said, I'm very flexible. I can bounce off of people like that if I can. Or if I have to adapt, like I did on last Monday, where I had to adapt to something I forgot I was doing. It's good to know that I can adapt, like, quickly. We were playing Simon Says. I got a little chaotic and on hand. I could have planned that. Could have managed that one better or better plan it. That's just something I need to keep note of for next time. Went really well. Could have planned better. Mention that. Oh, one of the things is that it was a bit long, and at least I have a good framework of what to aim for, so I'm gonna shoot for 30 minutes. Hope from there. But yeah, at least I'll know what to work on for next time, which definitely will be tomorrow. Tomorrow is next time for the lesson, which means I gotta get to planning soon. Yeah, and I was told on that day I was gonna lead another SEL lesson and 2 SEL lessons and a math and some math. I'm like, wait, math? Like your thing? I thought I was just gonna sit there for another week and we go from there. So basically, it's just, I call it regrouping, but it's really just this. You're just doing that. So basically you're working with 2 digits instead of 1. Get the picture? We get the picture. That's basically what she told me. Once I figured out it was that, I was like, oh yeah, that's a bit simple to do. I can work with something like that. Hopefully I can make that work. We'll try. Not perfect at it, but we'll try. Yeah, so lots of planning, which is one of the downfalls of being a teacher, is that there's a lot of prepping involved and there's a lot of things that come with it. Okay, so oh yeah, I forgot that day my dad decided to stay home because he was feeling like he could have kidney stones. Luckily, he did not. It was that kind of level of pain. So he decided to just chillax for the day. So he was well enough to take me home, thank God, because the commute home it's a struggle. I mean, the rides are very smooth, but you're waiting there forever, and it literally can make or break you, depending on if you miss it. So yeah, it's a bit of like, you gotta keep your attention span on at all times. You cannot just drift off or fall asleep. Personally, if you fall asleep on the bus, you'll definitely miss your spot if no one's going to wake you up. Which almost happened to Rambu in the UK. One of his streams, what he's talking about. So I get home, I'm kind of chillaxing a bit, and I get a call from Tori, my friend that is also on Twitch. Personally recommend following her. Tori Mori 3, look it up. Or just look up Astrality. Just look it up and you'll find it eventually. Turned out I forgot some stuff at her place. And she said, yeah, I'm coming down with your stuff and, giving it to you. New home? Yeah, definitely. So we caught up. Got up a little bit. She gave me her stuff and a thank you card for her birthday stuff, which was all the way back in August, but that's how busy she's been. Life is very different for her right now. Right. Lot of Friday. Okay. Friday's class moved from in-person to Zoom. I will talk about the reason why in a bit. So it made it easier for me to go see Doom. As far as how the movie is, now, I already checked this with my parents. My parents went to see Dune the day after, and we came to the conclusion that where I was located, where I saw it, definitely played into a factor, and this should have given me red flags. Because the moment I stepped into that theater, the projector was definitely going out. At least one of the projectors. For when you see the commercials and everything before the actual movie plays, yeah, that was breaking for some reason. So when the actual thing showed up, I mostly was hearing the music. Don't get me wrong, the music is wonderful. And literally, I could just use it as background music if I want to. I won't do it right now because DMCA and, well, copywriting issues and all that. Don't really want to get in trouble with either one, so yeah, no thank you. I know that Twitch is kind of working on that, but I'm stubborn, so I am not taking that chance yet. Sorry, I'm just trying to see something, but whatever. So it was hard to hear anything going on. From what I could hear and understand, content was really good. I think it just takes another second viewing to really hear everything. So maybe I can get a better understanding. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Definitely one of those people that read the book would definitely enjoy this more. But as far as I got the impression of the person that wrote the book was definitely the JK, was definitely the Tolkien of sci-fi. Which is something for me to consider because I've heard he's very, very extremely detailed with his work. Describing a, 5 or maybe a chapter on a door. A door. I've heard of details. Okay, as a storyteller, I will go to details, but I'm not going to go to that amount of details just to describe a door. No. I would mainly define it as the door was rusty and old, and there was mold at the side, indicating something I do not know. And the wood was nice and soft and smooth, even though it has not been touched by another soul. Or something. There's just something that came out of my head, but yeah, mainly that. I literally think they outdid themselves. I went to see with my sci-fi fantasy club people, and I made a new friend. I saw some old ones. One person took me home, which is great. But it makes me feel like I definitely need to learn how to drive soon. Like, between the, like, next year after credentials, because that's when I'm gonna use the money. I'm gonna go find a job and then eventually pay somebody to teach me how to drive so that I can just drive, or just finally get my license drive and not have to worry about relying on other people and feeling guilty about it. Because if I was able to go around places myself, I would have gone to the movies myself and I would have just parked, chilled, had a good time. Not really thinking about it at all. So, and now we get to the COVID saga, as I call it. Alright, so it all started back on Wednesday. We got notifications on Thursday saying that Wednesday somebody got COVID, and we were not allowed to go back to our fieldwork until somebody traced it. Meaning, we were kind of not allowed to go anywhere near children until they figured out who had it, who was near them, and those people need to be quarantined. So, nothing in your picture? Good. So then we were told, don't tell your mentor teachers about it. Now, in my mind, if it happens to be one of my blockmates, and I happen to be near any one of those blockmates, I will be quarantined. And then you're telling me I can't contact them because you're going to contact them instead? My mentor teacher doesn't pay attention to emails all that much because she's super busy. So my mental thought is, I'm going to email my teacher when I am certain that I know something. That I know I will not be able to come on Tuesday or Thursday because of that reason. Lo and behold, bit of an exaggeration. Because I found out, because there was a lot of back and forth. So, basically saying, no, you can't go, yes, you can go, well, what about this, I think we can go. A lot of, like, mixed messages, doubts, like, there wasn't a clear message. And that's on the school, because the school needs to have better communication and flow direction, because a lot of my blockmates were not sure what to do. There needs to be better procedures for that. I am sorry, but it was so infuriating. I mean, on the one side, I get it. You don't want to shout wolf before it happens. You don't want to, like, cry wolf or anything. You don't want to, like, risk anything. You don't want to exaggerate. But still, yeah. The fact that I would leave her in the dark like that, yet no, thank you. Sorry, but I'm not following that directive. So Friday, I didn't get a chance to talk to her. I got the impression we were still going. Then today, it was a whole lot of confusion. From like, oh, we can't go because they haven't been giving the all clear, and I'm just about at the point where I am sick of COVID taking over my life. I am sick of all this back and forth crap. So I'm like, that's it. I am getting this damn thing sorted out today. Not tomorrow, today. And you better believe I was scrambling for answers. So during my during the class today, which I probably should have been paying attention, but you know, you have doubt, you have questions, you can't really hold it in, so you're like, I'm gotta find answers pronto, like yesterday. And yes, I decided to do that. I decided to talk to my clinical coach first, seeing if she knew anything. She basically got back to me with the same email I got last week. Yeah, thanks. Not helpful. Then I asked my block leader, who kind of was the person that said, yeah, no, all of you are staying put. Okay. So if we're gonna go Harry Potter terms, she'd be the head of the house. If we're gonna be specific. Yeah. And so I emailed her. She gets back to me saying that she gets back to me later, but not before I get an email about what she announced to everyone else, that it's okay. And then she emailed me back saying, yeah, I posted it on Canvas, hope this answers your question, which it does. So I'm like, I spent my whole morning trying to find an answer to this one question when it was already answered. Yeah, I basically scrambled for answers for nothing. Yeah, basically nothing. But at least it's clear. So yeah, basically it is very, very clear where of where I am going now. Basically, by that means I know what to do. Now I have everything is just the same, which is great. It's only an hour in, and I'm already finished with the week. So I'll reiterate what I'm saying now. So earlier in the episode, I basically said I'm going to be busy this week, so I'll reiterate on that. This Thursday will be my birthday. I will not be streaming on my birthday. I got too many things to do. Friday afternoon, I'm hanging out with my blockmates to celebrate our first student teaching together and stuff. So, my way of saying, yeah, I want to celebrate my birthday with my peeps. Saturday, I got a little Halloween party with my family, and I got my birthday party on Halloween, so yeah, I'm from school to social life booked. I'm not gonna do a stream around the time I'm busy, you know? That's why I'm doing it next week, to give myself a break and to have some fun, because I need it. Especially since this week is week 10 and it's already stressing. Thank the Lord I'm in the credential program and not back when I was doing this for, if I was doing this for, bachelor's. I don't know why I'm blinking today. It's been that long of a morning. I may need a nap. It's been that long of a day. Because it's already afternoon. But my point still stands. That it's been too long for my brain. So, yeah, basically, I'm giving myself this week off and have some fun. Next week, I'm going to talk about week 10 and week 11. Because week 11 is going to be the longest week of my life. Because I'll be doing teaching. That'll be my first week of actually teaching full-time. As a student teacher. So yeah, it's a big deal. Big deal. Okay. what I have been getting into is writing poems again. So I think I'll talk about this for a bit. In the past, I have done poems on a Word document, taking snapshots, and then uploading them from my computer to Instagram using a Chrome feature and everything. It was a lot of work, and it got me burnt out so fast by doing all that. I was hoping for a simple solution, and when things get really difficult, you don't want to do it all the time. So when I discovered Canva, it made everything smoother and easier. Not to mention, I'm able to post really cute looking poems that literally is eye candy. I can literally post a poem a day. A day. I can literally do that. I can make a poem from my phone or the laptop. I can literally do that. It's just amazing. It's amazing I can do poems on Canva from my computer and then just upload them from my phone. Because that's amazing. It literally just made me want to write more poems again. Hence why I was reading you the 3 poems that I made earlier. And yes, I am planning on doing more. I'm limiting it to 1 per day instead of 1 whenever I feel like it, because I feel like I just go crazy with it. And let the inspiration flow again. Maybe I'll make more poems and just upload them different days. I'll probably do that. And this week, I'm definitely doing Halloween-themed poems because I think they'd be cute, and I think it's appropriate. So, this is gonna be a short episode. I don't remember if I've ever said I saw Venom for the first time sometime, a week. Not last week, but the week before that. So sometime within the last few weeks, I've recently watched Venom, and I think it's really cool. I mainly watched it because Venom 2 is coming out and Carnage is involved, and I knew what Carnage does. If you want to put Deadpool and Carnage in the same room, Lord have mercy on your soul if you encountered them. If you survive an encounter from both of them, know that you are lucky. Because Carnage lives by his name. He is chaotic. He is wild. And you better believe he is going to eat people. Yeah. From what I do remember, I do think Venom was very much a standout. The whole, voice in Venom being the voice in his head, yeah, that's definitely cool. And I love Venom's personality, to be honest. I do think it was well written, it was entertained, and I think it was appropriate for me to watch Venom on October because it was actually around this month, maybe a few years ago. I don't remember when it first came out. I do remember it came out in October, so I think it was just kind of appropriate about a few years later, but it's still a good movie. Even after the hype, it's still a good movie. Yep. So, if you like what you see, go ahead and follow me on follow me on the Twitch channel or press that subscribe button on YouTube. You know, that usual thing you do to support people saying, yes, I like you, I want to watch your stuff. That's literally what I'm gonna do. So, basically, I think I'll call it here. Sorry that this is on a Monday and a little later than I would have wanted, but I get so busy. I get so swamped up. And this week is just getting everything done, trying to figure out what to do and everything else. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. Ugh. Well, I'm going to leave it with that. So, bye. Thank you. Oh, wait. Before we go. Oh, we got a fifth one. Finding yourself is a worthwhile pursuit. Okay. So, now I will end this. Bye. Thank you for watching. Please watch my other videos. Bye.